you subscribe and click the bell to get notifications so you don't miss any of the content in the future. This is going to be a lot of fun today. Brooklyn seldom gets to talk from stage, so this is a great way for y'all to get to know her on a more personal level. Thank you for tuning in, and here's the interview with Brooklyn Collingsworth Blair.
We have Brooklyn Blair with us. I almost said Collingsworth when I was doing that. I think you go by a lot of times, so Brooklyn Collingsworth Blair, though, right?
Yeah, I get both. It's okay. I answer to each one.
But your husband, William, I'm sure appreciates Brooklyn Blair. Thank you for joining me today.
Welcome. It's glad to be here. I feel like we've been under a rock somewhere. It's called quarantine.
That's right. That's right. And we've tried in the past to do like an on the couch with Fouch or something, and it just has never worked out. Those days when we're doing those multi-day events and those concerts, it just like you run out of time so fast. So I'm glad, even though in that quarantine, we do actually have a chance to do this.
Yes, this is super cool. And I'm literally on my own couch, well, chair at this point, but hey, it's what we got.
That works out good. Hey,
Yeah.
you guys have been super active on Facebook during this time off, and one of the big things that I'm sure everybody saw was your Facebook Live concert that you did from your parents' house. And you guys did a thing to help out Samaritan's Purse, and what a great fundraiser that was. Why don't you talk about how that came to be and just the excitement of you guys being part of that? Because that was really cool.
Yes. So super awesome opportunity to start with. We had been talking about as a family, what can we do to not stay completely silent through this quarantine? We wanted to, sing or, God gives everyone some kind of something in their hand. And for us, it's music. So how can we give back? And so that was obviously music. And so my dad reached out to Samaritan's Purse. Actually, he reached out to Michelle, who is the director of the Cove in North
Hmm.
Carolina, where we sing at every year. Sometimes multiple times a year, Christmas and regular, I believe. And anyway, so she said, let me get you to the right person. And dad, it went all the way up to Chain to Franklin, I believe. And they said, please, we would love to be involved in this. Let's go for it. So we advertised it. I want to say maybe 1 week ahead, maybe not even that.
Yeah.
Uh, my mom said, I am praying. I really feel like God could give us $50,000. I am praying for 50 grand for Samaritan Purse. That would be incredible. My dad said, oh, you have little faith. I'm hoping for 10 grand. And so the night of, we had no, there's no way of knowing how many people will watch or anything like that. My mom
Right.
had done a Facebook Live the week before, just a piano, and she had like 9,000 people watching, and we were blown away. Like, wow, that's amazing. And I think she did it in keys that people could sing in. And I think one of the comments was, wow, I would love to hear this 9,000 voice choir right now, people
Oh,
all
yeah.
singing. But
Absolutely.
anyways, so from that, we decided, well, why don't we do something with the family? We did have a lot of requests for that. So, but we didn't want it to be just for nothing. We wanted to have a purpose. And so we, went with the Samaritans First. So the day of, we were just kind of practicing and praying and, Lord, what do you have for this? So the night of, and some people actually pointed me out looking at my phone during the thing, because I was an eye on that donate button, and we hit 100,000, I think, by the end of the video. And then no one was signing off. People were staying on to watch the giving because it just kept going and going and going.
Oh, wow.
A week and a half or 2 weeks afterwards, we have now hit over $200,000 given to Samaritan's First. It's absolutely incredible. So yeah, Franklin Graham actually called my dad, I think the day after or 2 days after, and just, thank you for doing this. And my dad's like, hey, I am very embarrassed to say we had low expectations. This is crazy. I cannot stick God in a box. I don't care, quarantine or not. His purpose is going to keep on moving. And so, yeah, this was an amazing thing. And it was neat. I think it was the day after, on our local TV station here in Cincinnati, I saw a shot. They had a shot of Samaritan's Purse setting up the field hospital in New York City in Central Park. And I was like, that is so cool. We're literally helping with this. So it was really neat.
That's awesome. And I know so many of your peers in gospel music tuned in, and it was so neat to see you guys do that. And you had talked about the number of people that tuned in for your mom's thing being 9,000. Here's the great thing about Facebook Live is like that's 9,000 at that moment. And there are people tuning in and tuning out, and that number is just continually moving along. So, I mean, I think I saw it over 20,000 at one time the night you guys were doing that, of people tuned in to listen to you guys. And that's the great, I've said this on other interviews. That's the great thing about social media, especially right now in this time of it is what it is. If we embrace this as a genre and as artists, we can get our music, our ministry, our hearts, our passion in front of so many more people than we could even sing to in a weekend.
That
I
is
mean, I don't
super.
know what number, do you know the number of views that ended up on your guys' video?
Well, let's see. I know I saw at one time the night of, I saw it get up to 25,000. At this point, we are, I believe, let's see, Mom's video is now at 630,000 views, and
Wow.
ours is approaching that. Ours was a week later, so ours is almost to
Yeah.
600. I think it's insane. I mean, we never imagined it would go this way, but I mean, there again, God just took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
I heard someone say recently that church doors are closed technically right now, but I mean, the churches are thriving in the fact that we are reaching more people than we ever have. I mean,
Yeah.
little churches that only, have 100 people or 50 people are preaching to like 800 and 900 people because of live stream. So it's
Yep.
incredible what God's doing right now. His message is getting out whether the doors are open or not.
Yeah, I saw a meme that it was a meme of Satan saying, "Look, I closed down your churches." And it was God saying, "No, you didn't. The church is in every home." You know? So
True.
it's all just in the eye of the beholder, and God's, like you said, God's doing great things even in this time when we're not gathering together in large groups. It's so cool that we can use technology to still get the message out. Tell all the folks watching about your family, your kids, your husband, and just talk a little bit about your love for them, what they mean to you.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know more about my family, I am married to a guy named William Blair. We have been married for 9 years. It'll be 10 years in December. And whoo, that's hard to believe. And we have two kiddos. Emma is 5 and Winston is 2. Fun story about Winston. I actually have tackled potty training during this quarantine. We are on day number
Yes.
9. And it's a little iffy here and there. Some days are better than others. You moms get me. But yeah, but it's so I figured what better time. And I've been putting it off and putting it off. And I figured, okay, I have no more excuses. We are home for a indefinite amount of time, so it's got to happen. Because I was always using the bus as my excuse, like, oh, we're gonna have to
Yep.
leave people on the bus, it'll mess him up. But yeah, I don't have that excuse anymore. So, so he's doing great though. And yeah, so and then Emma has been starting some school stuff. She actually technically starts kindergarten in the fall, but I'm like, we're sitting here, might as well get some stuff going, get her brain going. So we've been doing that. My husband William also does construction on the side. My dad, Phil Collingsworth, owns a property company. He does rentals and flip houses. And so my husband is actually the property manager and also does construction on the flip houses. And there's a flip house going about 5 minutes from our house right now, which is super convenient.
Yeah.
But anyway, and so he's actually there right now as we speak. I think they're painting today, I think, but he's a jack of all trades. I mean, he can do roofing, painting, tiling, anything you want done pretty much except for electrical he can do. And he will tell you, I won't do electric because I don't trust me with that. But other than that, he can do pretty much everything. So yeah, so we're staying busy. I've been stay-at-home mom now more than I ever have since I've had kids 5 years ago, which is crazy. As you can imagine, on the road with my kids, I have lots of help because there's people around all the time on the bus. And so if I need to, get out of the bus for a little bit and go exercise or get a moment to myself, that is, always can happen. It's not a problem. But now I'm very thankful that my mom lives 5 minutes away from me. And so, and I told Matt earlier, people have asked, why are you seeing your parents during this quarantine? Like, that's not cool. And pretty much we've been together like since the beginning of this. We were actually on the road when most of this quarantine stuff
Mm,
started. So
yeah.
we've been with them. They got what we got and vice versa. So, but yeah, I'm healthy though. Thank God. We're all healthy and kids are staying in good spirits for the most part. They get bored, and as soon as they get bored, we go to Nana's house or we go out to the woods or, just change the scenery has been helping. But yeah, so it's all good. And yeah, we're glad we're together and we're all healthy. That's the main part right now.
Amen. That's right.
Yeah.
And your kids are now on stage singing, I think every night, right? Pretty
They
much?
are. Yes, we have a family song about halfway through the concert or so, call it "Runs in the Family," and so they both come out, they get introduced. Emma sings, most of it with a live mic, and Winston stands beside her with his little dummy mic, and, it's not on, but he thinks it is, and he is singing his little heart out. And, then afterwards, actually, Emma sings a couple solos now, so that's kind of fun. And actually, last night she decided that she wanted to start the ukulele. So anyway, I think that's kind of the little instrument of choice for little kids right now.
Yeah.
And so I had my mom had actually gotten her one for Christmas like a couple years ago, and I didn't give it to her. That sounds horrible, but I kept it. I hid it because I was scared she was gonna break it. I know that sounds awful, but anyway, I totally hid it in my closet. But she somehow figured out it was there. And so last night she comes to me and she's like, "Mom, I really need that ukulele." I was like, "Well, do you think you can handle it now?" She's like, "I'm 5, Mom. I can totally do this." So I'm like, "All right, well, if you break it, I mean, that's the end of it. It won't work anymore." So anyway, but she was watching The Sound of Music last night, sitting in there and playing her little ukulele, her little heart out to the music.
Well, that's way better than what a lot of kids start playing as 5 and 6 years old is the recorder.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Yeah, I remember that thing. I think we had a, music class when I was a kid in school, and I couldn't even get the hang of that thing, much less made it sound good. Yeah, that's a horrible instrument to start on.
Well, and they're singing now, they're starting to play instruments, so I know that you grew up, on the road singing with your family and everything, so I'm sure it's really neat to see the full circle now in your life, as doing that and now being a parent, having your kids do it. What does that mean to you to know that that's, like, the next generation already that's out there for you guys, and it's your kids?
Special. It's super special, and it makes me think towards the future, like, what is this gonna look like in 20 years, you know? My parents I and it gives me more insight into how they felt when we were kids. They had 4 little ones on the stage. I mean, I can't imagine. When Emma makes me so nervous on stage sometimes, and she doesn't have a care in the world up there. She makes me nervous because 'cause they're unpredictable, kids are unpredictable
Yeah,
on the stage. And, my mom had 4 of them up there. I mean, I think I was 2 or 3 when I did a solo for the first time. So, not a big deal, then get the kid off the stage. But when I was 7, I started doing trios with them full time. Um,
wow.
the third part and so we were kind of the group, and then the rest of the kids would come up and sing, on the couple family songs, plug out that lead part, and then she'd make them go sit on the front seat again. And, I would hang out there on stage. And so it gives me a lot more insight into how they were feeling, especially with Emma, since she's 5 now. Like, wow, I'm so proud of her. Is this the way my mom felt about me? This is kind of neat.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
awesome.
she loves it, and anything musical, she has an ear for it. It's funny, she had a hard time like beginning to talk when she was a kid. She didn't talk very well until she was at least 2.5. Was a lot slower and a lot of things, but with music, she catches on so fast. You teach her a song once or twice, and she pretty much has it. So it's just that's the way her brain is bent. And my
Yeah,
mom always taught us, train up a child in the way he is bent. So if your kid is not into dancing or your kid is not into playing sports, don't worry about that. Don't push that. What are they into? Push that. And
yeah,
my is into music, and so that's what I push.
that's awesome. And what is a normal day like, not a normal, coronavirus, COVID-19 stay-at-home order day, but like a normal day, typically when we're out traveling or whatever, a normal day at home. Once you get back home and get off the bus, what does a normal day look like for you?
Okay, so normally we get home on a Monday morning, and I roll those kids out of their bunks. We strip the bunks and get ready for the cleaning lady that comes. My aunt, by the way. And anyways, and then we get all the luggage off, head home. Usually get back home around 11 or noon, and I dump a load of laundry in as pretty much as soon as I walk in the door because if I don't get it started, I feel like it sits around all day. So anyway, that's usually our first 2 days at home is usually turning laundry around and turning suitcases around. A lot of times we only have a 2-day window before we head out again. And so the first day I usually try to get all laundry done, turned around, and suitcases packed again. So the second day I can relax until we have to get on the bus that night.
Yeah.
So, and then there's times when we have a week and a half at home. And those days, the laundry probably sits a little longer than one day. I don't worry about it as much, but
Yeah.
usually I try to get on top of that. And then the kids, usually we do play dates with cousins. We do have family that live close by, and so we do play dates with cousins. We go to my parents a lot. I cook dinner for my parents. They come over here and we eat dinner together. It's funny, people ask, y'all are on the road so much together. Surely you're sick of each other by the time you get home. And to a degree, everyone goes their separate ways for a day or two. And then, or, my mom calls me, what y'all doing for supper? And so we don't get sick of each other in that way. We just get sick of the small quarters, I think is the way
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
And you
that's and that
are,
that happens to everybody, regardless
no,
if you're family or not, because you can only spend so much time around the same people so many days in a row in such a small square footage, especially on those West Coast runs. And you guys know what that's like going out there, just like I do. I mean, those are
mm,
long runs between concert dates, so it can get tiring, and you're just kind of like, I need a break. We just need to
yeah.
separate for a couple days here. What is your go-to favorite beverage when you're on the road? What do you have to feel like you have to have every day to make just to get you going?
Well, usually on the road, I drink a Cinnabon coffee pod. So we have a Keurig on the bus, and I have a
Okay.
Cinnabon coffee pod, and I love coconut creamer, coconut cream creamer in the Cinnabon coffee pod. Like that is just the best combo in my opinion. So anyway, and then at Christmas time, I do the Cinnabon coffee pod and the peppermint mocha creamer. Those two, oh my word, they're just amazing. Now, but I have to say that I'm not the coffee snob that my sisters are. My
Okay.
coffee is probably a lot whiter than theirs is.
I have noticed that they do love their coffee, and so I wanted to ask that because I didn't know if you were kinda on the same page or not, or just kinda you like it, but you're not as much into it as they are.
That's true. I like my coffee very sweet and very creamy, and they like that bitter taste to come through. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense to me. Actually, Olivia was sweet enough to go get me a Dunkin' the other day, and she was like, "You got to try this. It's so good." And I was wary because she bought it, but I was like, "I will try it," and it was good. It was just you could taste that coffee really strong. And I'm like, "You can have it."
You're the, little bit of coffee with my creamer person.
Yeah, that's me, and I'm proud of it. No problem.
You guys have done a great job of building your ministry, and God is definitely using your music. And you've been holding down the soprano part for the group for all these years. Do you have any tips for ladies that are watching this that want to sing soprano? Do you have any tips for them to kind of help them along their singing journey? Things that have helped you out along the way?
That's a good question. Well, okay, I got to start at the beginning with this one. So when I was about 14 or 15, we were singing, like we are now. Obviously, no one was married or anything yet. Our songs, most of the time, were in the basement. I mean, everyone pretty much in my family was an alto. All the women, including myself. I wasn't very high at all. Not even really a mezzo, a little bit lower than that. And so my mom was like, if we keep on like this, someone has got to be able to sing high. This is ridiculous. I mean, everything is so low because my mom is known for how low she can sing. It's sometimes if she gets bored on stage, you know it because you hear some bass notes coming out. It ain't my dad. So anyway, it has been known to happen. So now you know I wrote, and don't tell her I said that though. Now everyone knows. But
I was going to say, well, don't tell her. It's going to be out
yeah,
there for everyone to hear now.
yeah. So anyway, hopefully I don't get a call here in a second. But anyway, so yeah, we were all low. And so I just one day took it upon myself. All right, there's got to be a way to stretch my vocal range. I can do this. I got to figure this out. So anyway, when I was 15 or 16, I started messing around with placements, and I had never had a vocal lesson in my life. I didn't even know what to call it back then, but I would literally just grab some CDs of women, high singers that I really loved, Celine Dion, whoever. I liked or not Terry Franklin, Barbie Franklin, his wife. I liked her back then. And so just high singers, I was like, how are they making that happen? And then I would hear, okay, they just switched placements. I can hear that. How did they do that? And so I would just literally stand in front of a mirror and sing and sing and sing and sing until I could figure out, how to switch and move things to where, head voice or chest voice or a mixture of both. Anyway, so, and I don't know that I could even teach someone how to do it, except just do it. Just
Yeah.
work at it and do it. My sister Olivia is always like, "You got to teach me how to do that." I'm like, "I don't even know if I know how to tell you." But actually, the last year, about a year ago, I started having some vocal issues. So this is one tip I'm going to give to every lady out there: do not sing through sickness. If you can keep from it, do not sing through sickness. I had strep throat 4 times last year in the year 2019, and starting in January, April, and then a couple other months. I can't remember which ones.
Wow.
Anyway, I had vocal issues from January on, the entire year of 2019. We actually had a live video recording. We recorded a Christmas album that year, and I had to sing through all of it. And I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting my voice back. It just wouldn't come back. So anyway, I finally went to an ear, nose, and throat specialist, and they said, they did a scope, and we see something going on. We need to send you to a vocal pathologist. So that's where I went, and they did pictures, and I ended up with a big old polyp on my vocal cords, and it was big. It was very significant, and it was the reason was everything was happening. And so she said, really, the most likely is singing through sickness over and over caused this to happen. She said, and it's nothing wrong with your technique. You weren't singing incorrectly. She said it was just that it's overuse. And she said, that's just the bottom line. So it could have been avoided. I obviously had no clue. I've never had my vocal cords looked at in my life. So be careful. If you get sick, you have a legitimate reason to bow out of singing. Unless you're on the road like we are, and then you throw up and prove it, keep on going. But
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing is like in what we do, in business terms, you are the product, as the singer and as the group, as the people in the group. So it's hard when you're sick or something's going on, it's hard not to be up there, because that's what people are expecting the product when they come. That's what they paid to see. That's what they paid to be there for. And if
yeah,
they don't get it, they're kind of let down because it's not what they paid for. And so that's a hard part. But at the same time, there are many singers who have not taken the rest when they needed to and ended up damaging their voice for the long haul.
so
And
true.
and so you don't want to be that either, because you want to have you want to be able to come back in the future without any vocal issues too. See, that
Yeah,
is a great tip because that's a fine line. And
it
so
is.
taking the rest when you're told to and when you need to is very important. What is your favorite song to sing?
Mm. On stage, probably one of my favorite ones to do right now would be The Lamb. I love The Lamb. We actually just brought that out on YouTube. Probably one of my favorite ones right now. It gives the gospel story um, just in a nutshell. It's so powerful. I love that one. Also, probably our most requested is Fear Not Tomorrow. We get that one constantly. It's so encouraging. Good grief. Some nights I get up there and I'm singing it straight to myself.
Yeah,
And I know how you know that. I mean, there's some songs that we sing that, some nights you really sing them for the people, and I hope they're really getting this. And then some nights, I'm dealing with stuff right now or whatever, and you get up there and go,
yeah,
man, thank you, Jesus. I needed that song. So, but
that's
yeah,
right.
those two.
That's cool. And I think this is a great way to wrap this thing up today. What is your life verse?
My life verse. Well, my favorite one, probably since I was a kid, is Psalm 19:14, which is, "May the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O my strength and my redeemer." And basically, it's kind of my roadmap. It keeps me focused on what I should really be focused on.
Yeah,
God, let whatever it comes out of me today be acceptable to you, because really, in the end, that's all that matters. And that is something I can renew every single day of my life.
that's awesome. And I know that I was going to say, I hope, and there's not hope. I know that folks get some encouragement out of that because that's so true. I mean, what you're saying is exactly right. And God's word provides it, whether we hope people get it or not, it's still there. God's word is still going to be
Yeah.
true, and it's still going to provide that encouragement for folks. I've enjoyed myself today. Thank you for joining me for this.
Yes. Thank you for having me. This has been fun. We'll have to do it again.
Yes, that would be awesome. Before you go, make sure that you tell all the folks watching where they can connect with you on social media and with the group.
Yes. So I'm on Facebook as Brooklyn Collingsworth, I believe. You find me on there. And then I'm also on Instagram at Brooklyn Rose C is my handle on Instagram. And yeah, come hang out with me on there. You'll see lots of pictures of my kiddos and kind of what we're doing during quarantine. And I always post lots of cool recipes too, because I love to cook.
All right, so there you go. You can go get pictures of the kids, see
Yeah.
the family. You can go to the Collingsworth family on Facebook, Instagram. I know they've got a YouTube channel. They've been posting some
Yeah.
videos too right now. So check that out. And if you want some recipes, go to Instagram because they'll be there from Brooklyn.
Yes. That's right.
That's
I know
awesome. Hey, thank
everybody's
you
cooking
again.
all day, every day right now.
That's right. We need something new. We're running into about the same thing every 2 or 3
Yeah.
days.
Yes, that's right.
Again, thank you so much. And thank you all for watching Fouch and Friends today. God bless you. And